In the fluorescent hum of a Walmart supercenter just off I-35 in Denton, Texas, Lucia Ramirez pressed her thumbs into the cracked plastic of the register drawer, counting the seconds until her shift ended. The clock above the bakery read 9:47 p.m., 13 minutes left, but the line snaking past the red box and the rotisserie chickens told a different story. Her vest, once a crisp navy, now hung in tatters at the hem where a toddler had yanked it earlier, mistaking the fabric for a toy. The name tag pinned crookedly to her chest read, Lucia, in faded Sharpie. The original sticker had peeled off months ago, and no one in management bothered to replace it. She scanned a gallon of milk, then a box of off-brand Cheerios, her fingers moving on autopilot. The barcode reader beeped like a metronome, keeping time with the ache behind her eyes. 3 nights this week she'd closed, and 3 mornings she'd opened. Her mother's texts, Mija, the light bill came, sat unread in her pocket. The phone buzzed again, but she couldn't look. Not here. Not with Mrs. Kowalski holding up the line, digging through a purse the size of a diaper bag for exact change. 37 cents, Lucia said, voice flat. Mrs. Kowalski smiled the way people do when they think kindness costs nothing. Keep it, sweetheart. Buy yourself a coffee. Lucia nodded, dropped the coins into the Give Kids the World jar. The drawer slammed shut. Next customer. He stepped forward slowly, like a man testing thin ice. Black knit cap pulled low, hands buried in the pockets of a hoodie 2 sizes too big. The arrow someone had edited onto the photo later would point right at him, but in the moment, Lucia barely registered anything except the weight of his stare. Not threatening. Something heavier. Resigned. Maybe. His cart held 3 items. A single frozen pizza, a 6-pack of Shiner Bock, and a box of .38 special ammunition. The pizza scanned. The beer scanned. The ammo wouldn't. ID? She asked. Routine as breathing. He reached into his back pocket, pulled out a worn leather wallet. The driver's license trembled slightly as he slid it across the belt. James T. Harlan, 47, organ donor. The photo showed a younger man with a crew cut and a grin that didn't reach his eyes. Same eyes now, only older. Sadder. Lucia typed the birthdate into the prompt. The register spat back an error, item restricted. Manager override required. Of course. Because nothing in this store ever worked the first time. She pressed the blinking help button. Overhead, the PA crackled. Customer assistance needed at register 6. No one came. She pressed it again. Still nothing. The line behind Harlan grew restless. Someone sighed loud enough to be heard over the country station piping in from the ceiling speakers. Harlan cleared his throat. I can come back tomorrow. No, it's fine. They'll be here. She offered a tight smile that didn't fit her face. Just policy. He nodded, stared at the conveyor belt like it might sprout teeth. The silence stretched. Somewhere near the pharmacy, a baby cried. Lucia's feet throbbed inside her non-slip shoes. She shifted her weight, felt the blister on her heel pop. Finally, a voice behind her. What's the holdup? Todd, the night manager, all of 23 and already balding. He smelled like vape juice and desperation. Lucia pointed at the screen. Todd squinted, typed in his code. The register accepted it with a cheerful ding. Harlan paid in cash. Exact change, 20s worn soft as cloth. He took the bag, hesitated. You okay? The question slipped out before Lucia could stop it. She didn't know why she asked. Maybe because his hands shook when he took the receipt. Maybe because the pizza was pepperoni, and her dad used to say only sad men bought pepperoni alone. Harlan looked at her then, really looked. Long day, he said. You. Long week. She surprised herself with the honesty. He almost smiled. Yeah, well, night. He walked away. Lucia watched him go, past the impulse racks of beef jerky and phone chargers, past the greeter who'd fallen asleep on his stool. The automatic doors slid open, swallowed him into the Texas dark. The line moved again. She scanned, bagged, smiled when required. At 10:05, the last customer, a college kid buying Red Bull and condoms, left with a wink she ignored. Lucia clocked out, grabbed her hoodie from the break room locker. The blister bled through her sock, but she didn't have another pair. Outside, the parking lot stretched wide and empty under sodium lights. Her Civic sat alone near the cart corral, driver's side mirror cracked from the time a shopping cart had rolled into it during a windstorm. She was fishing for her keys when she heard the voice. Lucia. She turned. Harlan stood by a dented Silverado, the pizza box balanced on the hood. The beer was gone, probably already in the cab. He held something out. A $20 bill. You gave me the wrong change, he said. Todd rang it up wrong. She stared at the money. I watched him. It was exact. No. Trust me. He stepped closer. Not threatening, just insistent. Take it. Lucia hesitated. $20 was half a tank of gas. It was 2 shifts of Mrs. Kowalski's pity change. She took it. Thanks, she said. He nodded, climbed into the truck. The engine coughed to life, headlights slicing across the asphalt. For a second, she thought he'd drive off. Instead, he rolled the window down. You got a ride home? He asked. I live 10 minutes away. Still, it's late. I'm good. He didn't push. Just looked at her a moment longer, then pulled out. The taillights disappeared past the IHOP, red dots shrinking into the night. Lucia stood there until the chill seeped through her hoodie. She pocketed the 20, got into her car. The engine turned over on the third try. As she pulled onto the service road, she passed the Silverado again, parked under the overpass, hazards blinking. Harlan stood outside, staring up at the stars like they owed him an explanation. She almost stopped. Almost. But the blister burned, and her mother was waiting, and the light bill wasn't going to pay itself. She drove on. 2 days later, the photo hit Reddit. Someone had snapped it from the security cam feed. Lucia at the register, Harlan in the background, red arrow screaming foreshadowing. The post title. Cashier had no idea she was checking out a man about to snap. Comments poured in. Conspiracy theories. Sympathy. Memes. Someone slowed down the footage, zoomed in on Harlan's face. Look at his eyes, they said. Dead inside. Lucia saw it on her break, scrolling in the bathroom stall so no one would see her cry. She didn't know what happened after he left the store. Didn't know about the divorce papers in his glove box, the foreclosure notice taped to his front door, the voicemail from his daughter he couldn't bring himself to play. Didn't know he'd sat under that overpass for an hour, gun on the seat beside him, pizza getting cold. She only knew the $20 bought her mother's medication for another week. And that sometimes, late at night, she still saw his eyes in the dark, asking a question she never answered. The next shift, Todd pulled her aside. Corporate wants to talk to you. About the ammo sale. And the incident. What incident? Todd looked away. Harlan. He didn't make it home. Lucia felt the floor tilt. She thought of the pizza, the beer, the way he'd said long day like it was a confession. She thought of the 20 in her purse, crisp and clean. I need to clock in, she said. Todd blocked her path. They're sending someone. Our maybe cops. Let them come. She walked to register 6. The line was already forming. A woman with a cart full of Halloween candy. A man buying diapers and beer. Same as always. Lucia straightened her vest, the tear at the hem fluttering like a white flag. The scanner beeped. The drawer opened. She smiled the way people do when they have no choice. Outside, the Texas sky pressed down, wide and indifferent. Somewhere, a truck sat cold under an overpass, pizza box still on the hood. And in the fluorescent hum of aisle 9, Lucia Ramirez kept scanning, kept bagging, kept breathing. One beep at a time.